I filed 2 fresh entries into my Paranoid States of America file cabinet this week. It's like the X-Files but scarier because it's real. I might need a bigger cabinet soon. The first entry is about a dude named Aaron Schlossberg. The second is about a Border Patrol agent with an Irish surname that phonetically sounds on video to me like O'Neill, given that I cannot read his badge and the agency has yet to identify him. Back to Schlossberg. This is the yuppie Manhattan lawyer who underwent a bigoted meltdown, captured on video, after hearing a Midtown deli worker and a customer conversing in Spanish. He threatened to call ICE and ordered the pair to get out of my country, before he huffed and puffed and was told to leave the place. No surprise he is an ardent campaign contributor and supporter of Donald Trump, the Pied Piper for some folks who currently reside in the PSA and now feel more emboldened to publicly unleash their bigotry. Schlossberg probably has a good shot of joining Rudy Giuliani's legal team as a bilingual outreach specialist. Now, there were calls to censure, discipline or even disbar Schlossberg. That's just wrong. He exercised his constitutional right to act like a jackass and express his views. The backlash he's experiencing, even after issuing an apology of sorts, is the appropriate response. The mariachi band that was contracted to serenade him with a Spanish love song outside his apartment complex, from which he was later evicted by his landlord, was a stroke of genius. I would still love to buy the guy a cup of joe and chat about why he blew up that way. Now to the 2 women speaking Spanish while waiting in line to buy milk and eggs in a state with a Spanish name for mountain. A Border Patrol agent approached the pair inside a gas station store in Havre, Montana, 35 miles from the U.S.-Canadian border. He asked them where they were born and requested their IDs. When one of the women asked the agent the reason why they were questioned and detained for more than 30 minutes, the agent on tape says, "The reason I asked you for your ID is I came in and I saw you guys speaking Spanish, which is very unheard of up here. It was heard when early Spanish explorers got there." When one of the women asked whether he was racially profiling them, he said, very politely I might add, "It has nothing to do with that. The fact is that it has to do with the fact you guys were speaking Spanish in the store in a state that is predominantly English-speaking. One woman was born in Texas and has lived in town for several years. Her friend was born in California." Now, Border Patrol agents can legally ask about citizenship status within 100 miles from the border on grounds of reasonable suspicion that there is a crime or violation of federal law. Given my very rough measurement on a map of Minnesota, it might be wise for me to exclusively speak English while buying stuff at, say, a gas station in Thief River Falls or Northome, in case a Border Patrol agent walks in. But I may be safe speaking the mother tongue in Moorhead, which is more than 100 miles south from Canada. But simply speaking Spanish is not a valid reason for Border Patrol to question or detain you, the American Civil Liberties Union noted in a statement. The Constitution prohibits all law enforcement agencies, including Customs and Border Patrol, from racial profiling and arbitrary searches and detentions. Not that Constitution thing again. The PSA Constitution preamble I have on file in that cabinet of mine starts off with, "We the people, in order to form a more ignorant union, will not let facts get in the way of our fears and prejudices." You know, facts like there are at least 350 languages spoken in the U.S., that this country has always been a multilingual society, that Spanish is the second most commonly spoken language and arguably the first European one spoken in the part of the New World we now call the USA. That includes Puerto Rico, where Spanish-speaking Christopher Columbus landed in 1493, 72 years before the first European settlement in the continental U.S. St. Augustine was founded in Florida by Spanish explorers. Jamestown, the first English settlement, came 42 years later. Actually, there should be a movement to correctly write out and pronounce Montana by adding the tilde to the N. Which brings me to my own life experiences. I've spoken Spanish since wee high. I never had a problem in NYC, where I was raised, which is why I find the Schlossberg affair so stunning. I wish I was inside that deli that day. And I've never had any problem to date here in the Gopher State. Sure, my wife and I have received some quizzical looks from bystanders the times we have spotted a family we think are Puerto Rican or Latino at Sam's, Target or Cub, and we start jabbering away, animated voices, arms and hands flailing, like long-lost friends. But that's about it. As Schlossberg said it himself, though he did not mean it this way during his tirade, this is America. Capiche? Muy bien.